Okay.
How are we recording?
Yeah, we're live.
That's cool.
Well, we're back after a hiatus of not recording at all for like 3 months
For various reasons.
Various reasons. Well, we were doing a lot of traveling, which this episode is centered around today.
Yes. Welcome to the insert title of show podcast.
Yeah, I just edit it in later.
Yeah.
Whenever we get a name,
Yes.
and we start releasing these episodes, just
Yes.
edit it in.
Welcome to that. Yeah, we've been traveling, doing cool stuff, seeing cool things.
Yeah.
That
Great way to explain that.
Yeah, just cool. Yeah, went to Missouri and South Dakota, and Wyoming. All these cool places.
You made us sound so lame.
Well,
at the end of last year, we went and climbed the highest point in Texas,
That's true,
Guadalupe Peak. We hung out in New Mexico and West Texas.
Yeah.
And then we just got back a week ago from a trip to South Dakota and West Wyoming.
Yes. And we'll ignore the other states that we drove through to get there.
They're
not important enough.
We didn't really spend a whole lot of time in those states, which
for good reason.
Yeah, try to avoid Alabama at all costs.
Yeah.
Sadly, it's almost impossible if you want to leave Florida.
Yes. We're definitely not going to have any fans from Alabama, that's for sure.
I don't care.
That's fine.
Don't need them.
My goodness, but yes.
They probably aren't smart enough to be able to access a podcast or intelligent enough to listen to a podcast.
That's true.
I definitely made sure we're not going to have a fan base in Alabama now.
No, I'll just cut this part out.
Don't cut this.
Weekly rant on Alabama.
Yeah.
Yes, we saw some cool stuff. Lots of cool animals. That's probably always the highlight for me.
Yeah, I love the wildlife.
Lots of big deer.
Yeah.
Lots of prairie dogs. Lots of prairie dogs. Coyote trying to attack prairie dog.
Prairie dogs with the plague.
Yes, that too. Some bison.
Yeah.
No bighorn sheep though.
Yeah.
No bears, which was probably for the better.
Yeah. Too cold for bears still.
Yeah.
Let's start off with Guadalupe Peak. Let's talk about that trip first, since that was further back. And then we'll break down.
Work chronologically.
Yeah, work chronologically with this.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So Guadalupe Peak.
Well, first we drove to New Mexico.
Yeah, we camped outside San Antonio.
Well,
right? Was
actually,
it San
yes,
Antonio?
First we did that.
I don't remember the name of that state park, but it was okay.
It was supposed to have dinosaur bones.
Yeah, way too crowded.
Yeah.
Would not recommend.
Yeah.
Like 4 out of 10. The camp host was very kind.
Yeah. It might have been better if we actually saw what was around there, but it was not our stop. We were trying to get in and out.
That was just a waypoint on the big trip because we were trying to get to the Guadalupe mountain range up in South New Mexico.
Well, technically it's in Texas.
No. The range goes from New Mexico into Texas. Like it ends in Texas.
Yeah.
Because we went to Carlsbad.
Well, first we went to the Alamo. We did remember
the Alamo.
You
sucks.
didn't remember the Alamo.
I didn't remember the Alamo. You know why? You want to know why? Everybody in Texas and San Antonio, it's because your Alamo Memorial sucks.
Well, it was under construction.
Finish it.
Well, it was in a battle.
It's taken them this long to give us some good recognition.
Fair.
They're like, remember. Well, they're not remember. They didn't remember for a while at least.
They forgot to.
They forgot to remember.
They forgot to take care of it.
It was cool area. Kind of a bummer to see all this. Just it's surrounded by city.
I remember it being cooler when I went as a kid.
I think everything's cooler when you're a kid.
I remember
though.
For some reason
you appreciate everything a lot more as a kid.
For some reason, I thought we were supposed to be like quiet in the Alamo, but it seemed like
it was not quiet when we were there.
It was not quiet.
Because I know you mentioned that like we're not going to be able to talk when we get in here, and I was like prepared for it. And then it's super loud. People are talking, pushing each other. Like
one, it was a church. Two, it was
it's like the
place where a lot of people died.
Yeah,
so
you think you're supposed to have some reverence for it.
But no, just yapping about.
San Antonio was a cool city, though. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, my trip back to my car was interesting because I had to just go through the mall and then I went to the parking deck, which I thought would lead me out, but it didn't. So I had to like
That's
go all the way
hilarious.
back around. It was fun.
Love navigating cities.
It was a decent mall
That's
for
fair.
for malls.
That's funny. The restaurant we ate at was pretty good, right there on the river.
Yes,
That was cool. Was it the Lone Star? I think it was the Lone Star Cafe, maybe.
maybe,
Which I think it's like a chain restaurant in Texas.
possibly.
But I don't know. It was good though.
It was good.
It was very
Solid
good.
food. Right there on the river. Good vibes.
Hmm.
Watching the boat go by.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
And then finally making it to the mountain range was the real payoff. After we went to Carlsbad National Park, but
Couldn't go in the caves.
couldn't go in the
Yet again,
caves.
Foiled.
You gotta book tickets well in advance for that one. It was absolutely slam packed, and you gotta get tickets well in advance. We did not know that because we didn't look into it enough. We're
I
gonna
just figured we
pop
could
in.
go into a cave. Why not?
Yeah, but
You pay for it.
yeah, it's limited daily on how many people they let in, and
No, they just didn't want me to go.
yeah,
I don't know why.
it's because I called ahead and I told them you were coming, and they were like,
Makes sense.
"Do you want us not to let him in?" And I was like, "Yeah, don't let him in."
I want to know.
But then for whatever reason, they didn't let me in either.
Yeah. Well, because then that would have made it look.
It would have looked Yeah, exactly. It would have looked suspect. Suspect.
So we
or
can't comment
suspect?
on the caverns themselves. The area around it was.
The area is
nice.
very beautiful around that spot. I mean, very pretty. Headed out into the Guadalupe mountain range and
Got snowed on.
camped out. Well, it didn't snow the first night because the first
Super
night
windy.
it was just really windy. Yeah, and cold.
Like 50-mile-per-hour wind.
Yeah. I think we were 20 something.
Probably.
It was a lot though. I thought the tent might just take off. And then the next morning, Anthony found that. I don't even know how he found out that there was that canyon that was near us.
He just looked around. It's like
He didn't. Well, he didn't walk around. He found something on his phone. He said.
I had no service.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how he found it or whatever, but he kept talking about this spot. And he was like, "Look, it's right up here," and he was showing me on the map, and I was like, "Okay." But the canyon was pretty cool because we just got out there to the edge, and then it was like, "All right, let's go down in it and hike around,
see how far we can get."
Yeah, explore. So doing that for a few hours, pretty neat.
Found that cool sitting area.
Yeah.
I guess it probably would have been a cool waterfall at times.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that's during the rainy season. Get a lot of flash floods through there. I mean, you can see it on a lot of the rock formations where the water erodes when it floods. When we were coming out of the canyon, seeing that guy that was freehand rock climbing
that was impressive.
The flat face of the canyon wall, just out of nowhere in shorts shorts and shirtless, just jacked,
right?
Freaking just hanging on the face of the canyon wall. That was wild.
Yeah.
And had no idea we were even there, and probably wouldn't have cared anyways.
He was too focused on
not dying. Oh, that was pretty great.
Glad he made it.
Yeah, glad he made it up. Golly. But then we started getting that. It was that day we started getting the winter storm warning.
Yeah, we saw the snow, the clouds rolling in.
Yeah, the clouds were rolling in, and then started getting emergency alerts. There was a winter storm inbound and to seek shelter. So we just moved campsites to a different location and camped out. And I think we made chicken quesadillas that night. Yeah, that's what we did. Anthony made chicken quesadillas.
Yes.
Those slapped too.
I did.
Around the campfire. That was legit. Did the snow start before we went to bed? I feel like it did.
I think it did as we were
about to bunk down for the night.
Yeah.
I think that's probably accurate. But when we woke up, there was snow pressing in on top of the tent. It had snowed at least a few inches.
Yeah, and then it came down harder. It snowed the hardest probably when we were driving back through Carlsbad.
Yeah, it started coming down again.
Or when we were getting there.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. And then we got out of it because that next day we headed to the Guadalupe Mountain National Park or Guadalupe National Park Mountain something like that. Yeah, the national park.
Yes.
And because that's where we were camping out next was at the foot of the mountain.
Yes.
To wake up at the butt crack of dawn to try to get there by sunrise, which did not happen. Plot spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Did not make it to the to the peak at sunrise.
We probably made it halfway.
No, we were 2 hours past sunrise.
Yeah, we were probably about halfway by sunrise.
I mean, also, yeah, it was still really pretty.
The fact that we were up higher, the sun did rise earlier.
True.
Technically,
yeah.
So
yeah.
There's an excuse.
I blame Anthony. He won't listen to this episode, so I'll totally that. My brother Anthony is the reason why we did not make it to the peak at sunrise. Because he was about to die.
He was right, but it's all right. Hopefully he's doing better now
in Peru. Yeah, currently he's on his honeymoon in Peru, doing the Incan Trail, so he should have no problem.
Yeah, he climbed Guadalupe Peak.
Yeah,
he can climb the Andes.
Yeah. Yeah, Guadalupe Peak was a fantastic hike. I mean, it's 8,751 feet at the peak. And I think you start out around 5,000 and something feet in elevation at the base. Right. So you get about I think it's right around 3,000 feet elevation gain on the way up.
All the switchbacks.
Yeah, you get some gnarly. I think you go like in the first mile and a half, maybe. You gain like 2,000 feet of elevation. So that's really what kills you if you don't keep steady pace. But it was cool. Beautiful views.
We did not make it as fast as the other guy.
No.
Sprinting up the mountain.
We started, and I remember we started probably about 4 o'clock, probably 4:30 in the morning, maybe 5. Right?
Closer to 4.
I think it was either way. And
we actually did get up.
I was tracking us, and we were like, I think we were half mile up or maybe a mile in, and I look back down and I can see a headlight at the trailhead about to embark, and I see it going. I see it start bobbing on the switchbacks, and I'm like, okay, somebody else just started their ascent, and we're going up, and I'm keeping an eye down on the headlamp as it's coming up, and it's moving really fast, and I was like, that guy is hauling, and as we're going up, I'm like seeing it. I'm like, he's catching up to us. So I tried to speed up a little bit,
right?
And then I was like, there ain't no way. I kept seeing it. He was moving up faster and faster, and then I was like, there ain't no way. And that's why I think I stopped at one of the switchbacks and I waited for y'all. And I was like, let's just wait. And then sure enough, 5 seconds later,
he comes around the corner.
Just, steady stepping and headlamps bobbing up, and he comes around and he goes, morning, and just, keeps on going. And before we could he hit 2 other switchbacks before we even got to the next switchback, and we didn't wait very long after he went past to continue.
No, he just disappeared.
Yeah, he just disappeared, and then he was like, I don't know, at least another mile ahead of us, because when we finally got to the peak later on, he'd been sitting there and he had already boiled water, had tea or coffee, and was eating oatmeal or soup.
The most relaxing.
Yeah.
Probably ever.
Yeah, he was just enjoying himself. Because we were some of the first people on the trail. It was us and then him. I think he started right after this. Yeah, I think we were the first people on the trailhead. But then when we got up there to the peak, there's all these people up there coming down, and I was like, "Wait, where do these people? How do these people get past us?" And then I realized there's a campsite up there.
Yeah,
I forgot that there was a campsite up there, so they had it a little easier to get to the sunrise portion of
they probably
of the peak.
Half a mile.
Yeah, I think a mile maybe to the peak from the high altitude camp. But
part of that I wouldn't want to have gone in the dark. Towards the top. A little sketchy.
Meh, I'd do it. It's not too bad. That's what the headlamp's for.
True. It's true.
If we don't do it, who's going to do it?
That's true. Fair point.
And if we die doing it, at least it's
it's cool.
At least we're dead.
You got a good view going out.
Yeah, that whole 9 out of 10 bleed out spot. That was a good bleed out spot. The peak of Guadalupe, that was pretty awesome. It's a solid plateau area, like a little boulder field, honestly.
Yeah, with El Capitan just below.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah, then we
And we got it on a clear day, which is not very common for that area. And the winds were not bad either. Usually there's
it was supposed to be
40-mile-an-hour
it was
gusts.
supposed to be super high winds.
Yeah.
And super cold.
And
it
it
ended
was
up being
not-
like 60 degrees.
Yeah, it was beautiful. We could see for miles.
And then the clouds started rolling in, and we were like,
Yeah.
all right, let's head back.
Yep, it's like, all right, time to get off here. Which the descent was pretty good. We made the ascension in about 4 hours, I think. And I think we spent like 45 minutes or so at the peak hanging out because it was so nice. And also, you're already up there.
Yeah.
Why not enjoy what you've come to see?
Eat our
You
bread.
know? Yeah, eating sourdough bread and beef jerky.
Nice.
bread and meat.
A good lunch.
It was fantastic. And then we made the dissension. Dissension. Why did I
Or
descension?
Or just the descent.
The Descent. The Descent's better. Also a good movie. Very scary movie. I mean, not really scary, but it's pretty wild. We made the Descent in right at 2 hours, I think. So we did the whole.
We came down.
Yeah, we
very
came
fast.
down fast. It's always, to me, it's easier going down if you just keep the momentum and pace.
Just don't kill your knees.
Yeah, you're just gonna be careful with your foot placement because you will jack your knees and your ankles, and
And
you'll fall,
You'll slip
slide.
like I did.
Yeah, you slipped like multiple times coming down.
I
At
slipped
least twice.
once. I actually slipped once.
It's on camera.
It was like-
It's on camera. I'm pretty sure it was 2 or 3 times.
No,
I'm pretty
I
sure
might
it's
have
2 or 3
had
times.
awkward foot placement a couple
I think
times.
Anthony also slipped too.
But I only slipped and fell once.
I skid across a patch of ice, like actually slid across it, and the only reason I didn't die was
Fly
because
off the mountain.
I hit rock before I could go any further. So we did about 6 hours up and back, which isn't terrible. I think the average is like 6 to 8.
Solid pace.
So I feel like it could have
Proud of
been
yourself.
it could have been faster, but it's also worth it just enjoying the scenery going up, and also the sunrise on all the mountains around you was so pretty going up.
Yes.
You just kind of got to stop and enjoy it.
Yes.
If you don't take it all in while you're there, what's the point in even going?
Yes.
I mean, there's more to it than just the peak.
Yes. And then we got down and we had to move camp because
Yeah, because we got the group campsite because it was the only one available for the first night, and
it
then
was actually the only one that our tent would have fit.
yeah, it's also the only one that our tent would have fit in the national park there. And then I had booked a regular size campsite for the second night. Well, the people who were there the night before were still there. They had not moved out, even though they were past their stay time. And then we waited around a bit, and we went to like the gift shop, tried to just buy time. They still were there, still had not moved. So we kind of made the judgment call just to move on because the tent wouldn't have fit on the tent site anyways because of how big it was. It was just too small.
Yeah.
So we went down to Van Horn,
Yeah.
Texas, just like in Red Dead.
Oh, it was not like the town.
No, it's not like the town of Red Dead. The town is dead. There was
No.
not a whole lot that was open.
No, the Mexican restaurant was pretty banging though.
Fantastic, authentic Mexican food. I mean, you're close enough to the border, so
Yes.
it better be good.
Yes, could definitely see the border just over the mountains.
Yeah. What I thought was cool was they served baked potatoes with the food instead of like usually you get like beans and rice here in Florida.
Yes.
And you don't get like, but out there they give you baked potatoes, which I was like,
Heck yeah.
I'm totally down with this. It was
Heck
like baked
yeah.
potatoes and like a little cup of like chili type stuff, but it was super good.
My burrito was excellent.
I should have got a burrito as well.
I had two.
I had a burrito the other day from the taco truck here in town. So good. Love
Taco
that
trucks
place.
are good.
Fantastic. Yeah, no, Van Horn was, I mean, it wasn't much of a town anymore, but
It's alright.
we saw it.
It was what it was.
We stayed there.
Yeah, on the way back we saw the Roadrunner in whatever town that was.
Yeah, the world's largest roadrunner.
Yeah,
I don't remember what town that was.
cool outfit.
Yeah, his cowboy hat and his little Christmas sweater.
Yes.
And then the real highlight was Austin on New Year's Eve. Austin, Texas on New Year's Eve.
Yes.
That was
what a time.
What an interesting town. And going to Joe Rogan's Comedy Club for at the Mothership for the New Year's Eve comedy special show.
So 2 different shows in both theaters.
Yep. We went to the Little Man,
Little Man,
Little
Boy, Fat Boy,
Little Boy, Fat Man. Yeah, we went to the Little Boy show first, and then Fat Man for the New Year's countdown.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Cool. Great stuff.
Everybody was good. There wasn't a single comedian that I didn't laugh at. Like, it was some of the people in there didn't laugh, which was even better, honestly. Seeing people be shocked at what the comedian said was one of my favorite things.
It was pretty funny.
I was like, this is great. This is what it should be.
Yes.
And I liked that they didn't take your phone, but they made you put your phone up.
Yes.
For the shows. Yeah, I was like, that's cool. Like, it just kind of made you focus on the moment, be in the moment in the show, you know?
Yes.
I will say they make you have that 2-drink minimum, and
that's smart.
Oh my gosh, it's so smart, but it made me have to pee so much.
That's fair.
Like, I was like, dude, I'm consuming so much liquid, and I don't want to miss out on the jokes in the show. Like, everybody's there was no break.
Boom, boom, boom.
I feel like they gotta give me like a 5-minute intermission to go take a whiz.
It was like 5-minute comedian. Then like 30 seconds later, they'd introduce the next person.
Yeah, they were just rolling.
And then,
And I was like, it was good because we saw Brian Simpson in Little Boy, and when he came on in Fat Man, I immediately went because I could tell he was working out the same set again.
Yeah, so that was.
And so I immediately went because when I came back, it was still the same jokes, but then at the end he had changed some stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, that was perfect timing. Like, that was super lucky. So that was pretty cool.
Yes. And then the guy throwing Skittles at New Year's.
Yeah, I can't remember who the closer was.
I can't remember his name.
I can't either.
I think I have
Skittles at everybody.
I have an email that shows
dumping champagne all over himself.
They send out something afterwards to people. It's like, here's the people you had.
Okay.
With the pictures, which is smart.
Yeah, that would be super clutch.
It didn't have all of them, but
okay.
Probably because like the one was that one girl who.
Yeah, like the door person. Yeah, that was really cool though. Was seeing some of the comedians in at the beginning, like the openers, and then seeing them working the door that night. You know, because that's what they do to earn a spot. So, and they were good too. Like, she was great. The other guy that opened for the Fat Man show was really good. Yeah, they were good. I mean, I didn't have a single complaint about any of them. They were all hilarious.
Yes.
In all different styles. Like, everybody had a different style of
comedy.
Comedy of jokes. Yeah. It was great.
You went from the shy girl to the loud, obnoxious.
Was it Uncle Laser?
Yeah.
Was that? Yeah, Uncle Laser, dude. That was wild.
That was a switch.
That one was a big change up. You get this sweet girl. I can't remember her name for the life of me. She's so sweet, and she's talking about her dating life and
how awkward she is.
Yeah, how awkward she is, and it's funny. Like, it's genuinely, like, she was genuinely funny. And then Uncle Laser comes up talking about sleeping with trans people, and I was like, whoa, this dude with cut off jean vest and covered in tattoos with a mullet.
Yes.
Looks straight from Alabama.
Facts. Goodness. He is a good Albanian, maybe. Actually, I don't know.
Really, he could come from any southern state, quite frankly.
That's true.
Anywhere south of the Mason-Dixon line.
That's true.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, they were everybody was fantastic there. That was a great show.
Yes. And then it was cool outside. The bar area was cool.
Yeah, Mitzi's was pretty awesome. That was a really nice little just like a little dive bar. Yes. Like a speakeasy type bar.
Yes.
Yeah, that place was awesome.
Definitely would recommend going to hang out there, having a drink before a show.
Yes, go to Mitzi's, have a drink before a show, go see a show, and enjoy the the atmosphere because it's super unique. I've never been somewhere that has something as unique as that. Like that was very cool.
Yeah, it's fun vibes.
Yes, for sure. It was a good time. And that was pretty much everything we did on that trip.
Woke up and drove.
Yeah, woke up
back
and
home.
hauled it back to Florida.
Back to Georgia.
Yeah, you went to Georgia to get your dogs. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good trip. Good trip. And then we immediately started planning for
The second one.
South Dakota.
Yes,
And why
wedding.
would we go to South Dakota, you ask? Well, my younger brother decided to marry a girl who lives in Sioux Falls. So
Yes.
we decided to plan a trip around
That.
the wedding, and
Because we're gonna go up there, might as well
see
something.
the sights. See what's actually up there in the.
Yes. It's not too far.
Yeah, it wasn't too
Few
bad.
hours.
In all reality, you can get from Sioux Falls, South Dakota to Devil's Tower in Wyoming in 6.5 hours, roughly.
Yeah.
It's something like that.
That's easy.
And that's an easy day drive. So once I realized that, I was like, well, we could just camp out in the Badlands, the Black Hills, and see a bunch of stuff and just do trails and hang out.
Drive around.
Yeah. So we stopped in St. Louis after stopping by the Cahokia Mounds.
Yeah, they're really cool.
The Cahokia Mounds are awesome.
Monk's Mound was cool.
People don't appreciate that kind of stuff. Like that's a whole city.
Yeah.
Or it was,
It's man-made.
Yeah, exactly. Like that was a whole civilization at one point, and on the highest spot that you can go stand on still. They allow you to go walk up there. At the highest spot, you can see everything for miles.
Yes.
Like you're on par with skyscrapers in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Like you can look out and see the arch, see St. Louis. Like that's craziness.
Yeah.
You know, absolutely wild.
Yeah.
If you ask Fred Zimmerman,
Yes.
the Nephilim is buried there.
Possible. I can see it.
He said, I think it was the Cahokia Mounds, is that he said on the Blurry Creatures podcast, he said that there's witches that go out there at the Cahokia Mounds and do rituals at night.
Yeah.
And I was like,
That's fun.
that's so, like, why?
I want to watch.
What do you mean? Yeah, I'm like, I want to go sit and see what's up.
Can I sit on the top of the mountain?
Right? I want to sit on top of the mountain while y'all are doing your juju stuff.
Oh my goodness.
That's hilarious.
That's how you get abducted.
Yeah, that's how the aliens are gonna come get you. So yeah, we stayed in St. Louis after seeing the mountains.
Where was that guy doing his workout?
Oh yeah, that guy going up and down the stairs with his
Probably went up
kettlebells.
like 4 or 5 times at least.
I find it so interesting how the dogs reacted to Monk's Mound. That's the big one, right? Monk's Mound.
Yes.
Yeah, because as soon as that came into sight, when we were because we came from across the street in the open field, and as soon as it was like visible that we were crossing that open field, all 3 dogs just were beelining towards the mound
Like,
and
right,
did not stop until they got to the top.
That's where we're going.
Like,
that is true.
Why? That was so
It
weird.
is interesting.
Like, I don't get that.
Strange.
Yeah, that was very interesting to me. Like
That was
why they felt.
Partially strange occurrence number 1.
Yeah.
The first trip, nothing really happened.
Yeah, nothing really weird on the first trip.
This
This one was a little stranger.
Had a couple.
Yeah, the dogs doing that was very peculiar. I still don't.
Interesting energy.
Yeah, all I can say is that they just sent something like that mound was where they wanted to go. That's all that they were very clear about that. They didn't even care about. All they cared about was getting up those stairs to the top of it for whatever reason.
I liked over at the Twin Mounds where we walked to first, all the deer. That was cool.
The deer were really cool.
I think I saw that was on the podcast I was listening to. It wasn't with Fred Zimmerman, but it was on the Pictures one. And I think they said that was where the graveyard was.
Interesting.
So.
Interesting.
But yes. Yeah, after that we went to the city of St. Louis, the Arch, drove by. I drove by the baseball stadium and the hockey rink and the soccer stadium and
because it's all right beside each other.
It's all, just down the road from each other. Pretty cool little city. I like it. It was during the day. It was
Yeah, St. Louis is all right.
Didn't seem like a bad spot.
It's not terrible to drive through. In all reality, I'll drive through St. Louis versus Birmingham or Atlanta
Oh, yeah.
or Huntsville's not terrible to drive through.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
got pulled
St.
over
Louis
when I lived
isn't
there.
St. Louis isn't the worst to drive through though.
The whole state of Missouri.
Missouri's not a
Pretty
terrible
solid.
state.
So
I wouldn't
far,
live in any of the big cities, but not a terrible
I live
state.
just outside of
Yeah,
them, not too far.
I like the rolling green hills
Yes.
are very pretty, and they have some little mountains.
I'd put them
So
in the top tier of states so far that I've been to.
that's fair.
It's good
That's
stuff.
fair. The people are fairly nice as well in Missouri. I haven't really had any issues
Yeah.
with people in Missouri, honestly.
Yeah.
Um,
Drivers are mostly fine. I didn't have any problems. Really.
yeah, no.
So,
I feel like I've stopped in Missouri enough now that I can say I have an opinion about the state.
we've seen enough.
I haven't explored around in it enough
we
to
went all the way
really
across it.
like it. Yeah, I've been across it
and,
so
like,
many times now.
North,
Like,
south, from
yeah.
the wide part.
I've been all over Missouri.
Yeah, I've been in the little boot handle, whatever it is.
So I feel like I've got plenty of opinion about it. I like it. I would like to go visit and explore around it, Missouri some more.
Yes, and it's in the middle, so you can access everything.
Yeah, that's true. It's very true. And we finally made it to Sioux Falls, and
For the first time.
I almost ran out of gas.
Yeah, because we
On the
also
way up.
we're getting horrible.
Yeah, getting horrible. Well, as soon as we hit to where we could go
Iowa.
80 miles an hour, I was
Yeah, that
like,
didn't help.
let's burn it. And then I was like, grossly underestimated the distance to Sioux Falls versus our last fill up. And I fit 22 and a half gallons of gas in my tank. In my 20-gallon tank, I fit 22 and a half gallons when we filled up just outside of Sioux
So
Falls.
it's a good thing you spammed the thing 100 times.
Yeah, I was like,
Not much.
dear Lord. And it took it all, too. Like, it wasn't even close to overflowing. But,
We made it to whatever city that was first, and then Sioux Falls.
well, that was Sioux Falls. It was just the outskirts of Sioux Falls.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause Sioux Falls is just that big. It's so ridiculously big. But it's all the same. It's just flat. There's nothing tall at all,
Yes.
except the few buildings.
Yes. Yeah, like 2 office buildings and a cathedral. Yeah, we drove through there and headed west to the lake.
Can't remember what the name of that lake was that we stayed at. Something with a K.
Yes.
It is in the Buffalo Gap National Grasslands.
Yes.
In one of those sections of it. Kadoka? I think it was Kadoka
That
Lake.
is exactly
Yeah,
what it is.
just outside the town of Kadoka.
Yes.
Also, if y'all didn't know, when you're out heading west into South Dakota, for the most part, if you like coffee, you're in luck because
There's a
every
lot of
gas
them.
station will give you free coffee if you buy gas.
That's pretty cool.
I was like, this is so fantastic because I love coffee. And I was like, I thought they were just being nice at first to me. And then I realized like that's just everywhere. And I was like, you know what? I don't know who came up with this, but you guys are awesome.
I like
Like
it.
strictly for that, you guys are awesome.
And there are just a lot of coffee shops.
Yeah, there's a lot of coffee shops. Anytime you're up north or out west or the Midwest, there's so many coffee shops, which I love. Such a variety.
Yes.
We stayed at Kadoka Lake the first night.
It was a cool spot.
Yeah.
Not currently a lake, but
Yeah, no lake there is dry. And then we drove out and pretty much hit the road again. I think it was that first day that we stopped at the Minuteman
Yes.
National Memorial.
Yeah, right before we got to the Badlands.
And
That was cool.
that was very cool. It was a neat little spot. And then we didn't see the missile until the day after, right?
We saw it, yes, because it was after we drove through the Badlands that we saw it.
Yeah, because
It was on the way. It was on the way. I think between a trail and getting back on the road heading south.
Well, yeah, we hopped off one trail and then hopped on another trail.
Yeah, it was on that. I think
That's what it was. Yeah, it was on the switch. That's exactly what it was. So
That
yeah,
was cool.
so we
Yeah.
went
Saw a fake nuke.
Yeah,
where our
well,
former nuke was.
yeah, because after we went to the Minuteman museum, like the museum part of it, we went into the Badlands and explored for a little while, and then rode some trails out of it, and that's when we found the. I like how we just happened upon it.
Yeah,
Like it wasn't
we're gonna go here
planned.
later,
Yeah,
and then
and then we just happened to
like,
pull
oh,
up. There was
this is
signs, and
like-
it's like, well, there it is, like the dud. You know,
Right here.
I mean, it was a real missile silo when they had it, but
not a current
not
active,
yeah, not active nuke.
just like a museum.
As far as we know,
It could be.
I could have checked. Just send a few rounds through glass.
Oh, no, the glass
You think that was bulletproof?
probably?
You think they actually
Probably.
paid for bulletproof
I would
glass?
assume so.
I guess it's the same glass that they had
Yeah, I don't think they would have replaced it.
back then, so why would it be,
Yeah,
you know?
it definitely was bulletproof then.
Yeah, probably more than bulletproof. Probably
Yes.
like,
bomb-proof.
yeah, something crazy. Also, it's just interesting. Well, I guess it wouldn't really matter. I was going to say it's interesting that they had it with glass, like just uncovered. Like, why not just seal the whole thing with,
I
you
wonder
know, like
how-
a thick metal? But at the same time, no one's going to be walking up on a nuclear missile
Right.
silo.
We didn't see the bottom of it, so I wonder how deep the
Oh, it's
missile was
pretty deep.
used to actually be stored.
It's pretty deep.
Like if the nuke was stored like all the way down, or if it was stored like, 'cause it probably wasn't stored just like right there at the top.
Yeah, I think it was.
That seems crazy. Though. So anyone?
I think it was.
So it was. I mean, obviously the military would like block you from going there.
That's what I was just
like-
saying was like, cause someone like walking by could just be like, oh
There's a nuke here.
yeah, what the heck, that's a missile.
I mean, there was
but like
defense.
you don't have anybody who is gonna be like walking by. You know,
Yeah.
they'd be dead.
Yeah.
They wouldn't make it that far
There
back
was
then.
There was a sign.
Yeah.
Don't go here.
Yeah,
So,
back in the day.
Makes
You
sense.
know.
I like the thought that someone just wandering by.
Same.
Oh, a nuke.
Oh, what is this? Let me climb down here. Yeah. I think that was the day that we went down to the Baja Travel Management area
Yes.
and camped out.
Drove by, saw the prairie dogs, saw the bison,
Yep.
the pretty area of the Badlands. Just how cool it looked.
Yeah, we didn't really go through a lot of the hiking trails in the national park along the scenic highway because since we had the dogs, they're not allowed out
Yes.
in the Badlands on the hiking trails and whatnot. So you can drive through the Badlands with them, and in the Buffalo Gap National Grasslands, you're allowed to have dogs on leashes in certain areas for the most part. But in all reality, you can see a lot of the same kind of rock formations that are in the Badlands in the Buffalo Gap National Grasslands, just in certain areas.
Yeah.
So the dogs got to have plenty of fun out there.
Yes.
They
they got to experience it.
Yeah, they got to experience the Badlands basically.
Yeah.
it was fine. You know, people act like you'll miss out, but you're really not missing out. And it was much more enjoyable having the dogs with us versus
No.
them not being with us.
Yes. The Baja area was cool. Getting to drive around everywhere
Yeah, being able to literally drive on everything
was pretty nice.
was wild.
Yes.
And the colors out there were beautiful.
Yes.
All kinds of shades of purple and pink and yellow and red and orange.
Yes.
It was, yeah, and like, yeah, the grays were wild as well. Not the aliens; those came later.
Well, technically,
Technically, they were
they
there.
had already come at this time.
Yeah.
But yes.
So we camped out there that night in the Baja Travel Management area.
Yes.
So technically, we have been to Baja, just the Baja in South Dakota.
Yes. A different one.
Not Baja, California, Baja, South Dakota.
Yes. Just as cool though, maybe.
I don't know. I don't want to make that judgment. People who run in Baja might get mad.
Sure. Well, maybe they'll invite us to prove us wrong.
Shout out to anyone in Baja who wants to front money for a trip for us to come to Baja.
Yeah.
We'll come.
Yeah.
You send money, we will come.
Yeah.
Yeah, so camped out there that night. Super windy though.
It was
Just way too windy, honestly.
and making a fire was difficult when there's no wood anywhere.
Yeah, it's the desert.
It makes it hard.
Basically the desert.
So,
And then we headed out the next day. Drove around. I think we played around there for like 2 or 3 hours that morning,
yeah.
which was so much fun. Just driving around and over things, just testing out the vehicles.
Yeah, you going up a huge hill and
Yeah, bottoming out at the skid plates and then crunching my front suspension on the way down.
Yeah, good times.
That was great. And then
I did not do that.
Yeah, you got to get skid plates for your Jeep.
Yeah.
And rock sliders. It helps.
Yeah.
And then we headed out to, I guess we headed out to the other side of the Badlands, right?
Yeah, the Badlands.
Sheep Mountain, I think.
Yes.
That was the next goal.
I think that might.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, it was. I'm trying to think if that's considered part of the Black Hills, but not.
No, it's Badlands National Park. Yeah, and it is National Park. Technically, dogs are not allowed out there at all, except for being in your vehicle, which ours were in the vehicles out there.
Definitely.
Yes, which is really cool. That's one of the coolest drives, I think.
Yes.
Being able to drive along, like you're basically driving along the edge of this plateau the whole time and seeing the Badlands.
Yeah,
like
coming up the
oh my gosh,
mountain or up the plateau, like through a little area, and then just coming out on top of it was very cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
you go through basically like a small canyon, and then you come out on top of the plateau, and it's just views for miles, and it's incredible. And you don't technically need 4x4 or high clearance when you get to the rough part of it that says 4x4 and high clearance required. We saw what was that, a Hyundai or a Chevy Cobalt or something?
Someone just a little small sedan.
These two chicks just come barreling down the road in this little.
In the harder part.
Yeah, in the part that you're supposed to be required to have high clearance 4x4 vehicles.
There were the two roads.
Yeah,
they were going through like the middle.
Yeah. They were on the harder section.
The right side.
Yeah, the right side, which was the trail you're supposed to be using to come out.
Because I started to go on the left first.
Yeah.
And I switched.
And then as I'm coming down, they saw me and they pull into the middle, and I go by and I'm like, why are you doing this to your car?
Yeah.
Like,
what's wrong with you?
That car is gonna be so jacked. Like,
Facts.
You're gonna have issues.
Hopefully
like
they made it out.
Here's the thing. Make it just about anywhere. It may take some doing. You got to have a good driver.
It is possible.
But you look at a lot of these other countries where they have these crappy vehicles, and you see the roads that they drive on, which are basically trails here in America. They get wild with some vehicles. I mean, so it's possible. It's just you probably shouldn't do it if you value your vehicle.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would only do it if you have another vehicle to drive.
Yeah. Or your rig is your daily.
Or a lot of money to repair.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if your rig's your daily, that's different. You know, obviously, if you have a 4x4 high clearance vehicle, or even just a 4x4 vehicle, totally get it. I mean, that's what we do. Our dailies are our overland rigs and off-road rigs. Because, which is really not that bad as far as cost, because you're more cognizant of repairs on your vehicle and of maintenance on your vehicle.
Yes.
So, I mean, you just got to stay up to date with that.
Yes.
But Sheep's Mountain or Sheep's Head Mountain, whatever it was.
Sheep Mountain.
I think it was Sheep Mountain. Super cool trail. Marked on Onyx, so I mean it's easy to find. And then we headed to Rapid City, right? And then we just fueled up there, and then we went out into the Black Hills. Oh yeah, we went to Shields. Shields is cool. Cool stores. We don't have that kind of stuff in Florida.
No.
Giant stores like that. They do in the Midwest though, apparently. There's all kinds of big stores out there.
Yes.
Yep, went out in the Black Hills, and we found a good campsite that night. I can't remember exactly where, but that was a good campsite. That was the campsite that Caesar found the deer leg.
Yeah.
And brought it. Brought it back.
Rushmore.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because it was right near, I think it was like 30 minutes north of Black Elk Peak Trailhead, because we were going to climb Black Elk Peak the next day, and turns out the roads to it were closed, and it would add an extra like 6 miles of hiking. And being as the trail was already a moderate to difficult trail for dogs,
probably not smart.
We were like, we didn't really want to push the dogs that much further on that, because it's just not worth it for the dogs to get injured or give up.
Yeah, definitely didn't need Caesar
on the trail.
Doing something on the first day.
Caesar would be
That
fine.
big old boy.
He did 11 and a half miles in Tennessee with 2,000 feet of elevation gain.
What a guy.
It was impressive. He did not give up. Most of the people I with were probably ready to give up, and they're probably not happy with me because I'm the one who. I was like, yeah, it's a short hike.
It's easy.
They said they wanted to do a difficult hike, so I was like, are you sure about this? I was like, there's this one. They were like, yeah, we can do that. I was like, all right,
Sure.
we're going to find out. I was holding Titus, my puppy at the time, and just clearing brush with a stick because I didn't think the trail was going to be that thick.
Right.
That was a rough trail. Awesome trail. Beautiful views. I don't care what anybody says, but
Hey, now with Titus, you'll be able to have him walk along with you.
dude, so in
He's
the
trained.
yeah, so my puppy's in training right now, and it's not like he's dumb or anything. He's very intelligent. That was one of the things that the guy said. The trainer was like, he is very, very smart, and he was like, and that makes training and keeping him trained difficult. But if you do, like, it's going to be so much better because he's already super responsive about it. And when I was walking him and doing work with him here at the house, like, oh my gosh, like he's the same dog. Like, he still wants to play, still a goofball,
Right.
but like so responsive. I was like, this is weird.
That's excellent.
Like, this is so weird.
He actually
Like,
listens.
he does, and he was good too. I mean, he did well with the chickens, and all that. So he'll be really good traveling now.
When do you get him back?
Next Saturday. Yeah. Or this coming Saturday since today's Sunday. Yeah, that'll be good. But yeah, we were going to do Black Elk Peak, and that just didn't work out. So we decided to bail on that and go to Mount Rushmore and see that.
Yeah. Right.
And that was cool.
Yeah.
The eyes, I will say this, because people say that it's very underwhelming, and I agree. It's a little underwhelming, but the eyes,
The detail is very impressive.
I don't know how they carved the eyes was so incredible to me
Yes.
because it's just, I don't know, they just pop
Yeah.
so beautifully.
Yeah, it's very.
Well
Well done. That's why
well
I-
done.
that's-
Yeah, well
that's why
done.
it might not be like the coolest, like most grand thing, but it's very impressive that they just
Oh, yeah.
made that out of rock.
Yeah,
They just
it
carved
is.
them out.
It is very impressive. The eyes are my big thing. I don't mind. I would still go back and pay $10 just to go see the eyes in person because it doesn't look like that in pictures.
I liked Washington's coat.
I like Teddy's glasses.
Teddy's glasses.
Teddy's
That's the
glasses
thing,
is
like
also
the
really
attention
cool.
to detail
Yeah.
on things. Is
Yeah.
really cool.
It was very neat seeing the mountain carving.
Yeah.
I will say though, Crazy Horse,
It
kind of cooler.
will be cooler.
It would be
I don't
it would be
think
so sick.
Currently, I don't think it's cooler.
Currently, I do think it's cooler just because it's so much bigger.
I think once they start to get the horse's head, maybe, or the
if
body.
they could
If
get
they can finish Crazy Horse's body,
if they
or
could
get
finish
the head.
Crazy Horse's arm
that yes.
and then get the headdress and his hair going back on
Yeah.
Crazy Horse's head,
That's true, yes. The arm and the head.
then it would be smoking out Mount Rushmore 100%.
Yes.
If they get the horse's head done, oh,
Yeah,
it's
I
game
guess
over.
That's probably the last part.
It has to be. I would think it has to be. Like, it's so cool though.
Yes.
Like, I love that.
The visions.
I want to see it done,
You won't. Sorry.
but I won't.
My
My great grandkids, which won't exist,
probably not.
wouldn't be able to see it done.
I wasn't
Probably.
saying probably they're not going to exist. I was saying probably they're not going to see.
No, they're definitely not going to exist. There is no hope. So going back, because we were talking about Mount Rushmore and Crazy Horse, but going back to the Baja Travel Management area. So it was that night, the night before we went and saw Crazy Horse and Mount Rushmore. We were in the Black Hills the first night. We were reviewing footage, right? You were reviewing some video footage that you had taken. I was looking at pictures I had taken
Yes.
and some videos, and you found
Something.
something.
An interesting occurrence.
Well,
in
the fact of the matter is, it was a UFO.
video. Getting straight to the chase.
The fact of the matter is,
It was a
it
UFO.
was an unidentified flying object.
Yes.
Whatever it was, we cannot say,
Yes.
but it was an unidentified flying object
as we saw it.
as we saw it.
Currently, I would say the theories are it was either a UFO or a camera glitch flash thing. But looking at other video I had of similar stuff, none of it looks the same.
So
This one is very specific.
So I've seen the one and the first one that you found. I haven't seen these other ones. You're going to show them to me now. But the first one for me, it looks like a ship shooting across the sky and then jettisoning off out of the atmosphere.
Yes, this was as we were driving along with the prairie dogs.
Yeah,
so it was cool.
We're driving along next to a prairie dog field.
I'll show it the zoomed in footage to you.
But you said that you found some others.
Yeah, so I was looking through last night and today, and I might have found others very similar.
Is this the original video?
Yes, but it's about to zoom in a second.
Okay.
To show both.
Mm.
So the two spots, because it showed the. Okay, yeah, this one. I think this one happens. This is the deer. There's something at the beginning that's more likely that this kind of looks like the last one, but not quite. It'll slow down, I think, when it gets close. Yeah, this was as we were driving. There was a huge herd of pronghorn that just went running down the valley near us.
And this area is in the Buffalo Gap National Grasslands.
Yes.
The other one was in the Badlands area.
There we go.
Oh.
It was like a triple. And that one, to me, it kind of looks similar. But it also...
It does look similar, but it does look different.
It looked more... To me, that one looks more like it might have been a camera glitch with the sun flare. But also you can kind of see how the sun reflects on the camera. And it doesn't...
Yeah, there is like sun glare. But it doesn't look like the sun rays or the glare. It looked like something spiraling up and out of control into the air.
Yeah, and then I think you can fast forward through here. There was one more that I had at the end of this. It's a small little flash, but it's more like just a little ball.
The other one did look different as far as it turned at like a 45 degree, maybe not a 45 degree angle, maybe like a 105 degree angle.
It visibly goes horizontal to going up.
Yeah, at an angle. Like it's more of an obtuse angle.
Like that was just a little ball flash. That looks like a camera screw up or whatever. I didn't look like an actual.
That's pretty cool. That's a good video of the pronghorn running across in front of us on the trail.
Yes, I'll attach it to the video of this.
That's pretty great. Those are interesting. The first one really looks like a UFO, like a ship, possibly.
First one on this one?
Yeah, the first one on this one. Not on this, or on the original one.
The OG footage.
Yeah, the OG footage, if you will.
That's the one that most looks like it. Because it's the most profound wiggly line with a ball at the end.
Yeah.
Moving in a forward direction.
Yeah. It's interesting. I would try to find out what might cause these others and see if there's an explanation for those. That might give us some insight on the overall of what that is. But the first one it's interesting. I mean, they could all be
nothing. Or they could all be something.
They could all be something. Who knows?
Will we find out? Probably not.
Probably not. Probably will not find answers for this. That is not the goal of our show. We just want to keep proposing problems.
Yes.
So after we saw Crazy Horse and all of that, we decided to just go find a campsite, right? We found one in the Bald Hills.
Yes.
In the Black Hills, which is absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
I mean, like golden rolling hills, like just meadows and trails for all over the place. This huge section, and we just camped right out on top of one of them.
I think as cool as all the places. Actually, I'll say this later. We'll move on. It's just more of a wrap up thing.
So yeah, we hung out there, cooked steaks that night. That was pretty
pretty
great
quality.
And next morning we just kind of chillaxed and
Walked around and then
climbed one of the little mountains right next to camp.
yes, one of the twin sisters.
Yep. And
the taller of the sisters.
Just hung out and then packed up and
hit
the trail.
Yeah. Well, and on the way down, Caesar teleported.
Oh yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah, that was very strange. My dog, when we were walking down, he was walking down in front of me.
Yeah.
And Fraker, you and your dogs were walking
well ahead
of us.
But I saw him coming behind us. Caesar was somewhere between us.
Catty corner from us because we were heading somewhere else. And Caesar ran down the hill away from me towards you guys. And I continued walking the way I was and took a roundabout way back to camp just because I was wanting to see what was around on the other side of the hill.
And I just went up, filled the water bowls.
Yeah, once you got up there, you're on top of your Jeep, and I see you're like, "Where's Caesar?" I was like, "I don't know," and I just had assumed that he ran back to camp to where you guys were to play with the dogs.
I was ready for him to get water.
Yeah, and then we're looking around. He's just gone. He just is nowhere to be found, and it's weird because I looked around with the binoculars and didn't see him anywhere.
That's what I was looking.
I mean, he kind of blends in.
He was right on the shadow line,
but at the same time, there's no movement anywhere. Didn't see anything.
Yes. Yeah.
And then
I saw something, and I was like, I think that's Caesar. But I thought I saw two things, but it might have just my.
Well, so because you started walking back towards the mountain.
Yes.
And
eventually I saw him, and I was like, oh, that's definitely him.
Yeah, and where he was from where the last point that I saw him to where he was when you walked back up, where he was just sitting up on the mountain again.
Yes.
Like at the tree line of this mountain. And when I saw him, he was at least 100 yards up the mountain from where I last saw him.
Yeah.
Like at least 100 yards. Maybe, yeah, at least 100 yards. And I was like, Caesar's a big dog. Like he's not
one that can move stealthily.
Yeah, he's a big dog. He plows through everything. He's a big boy.
He's also not one to voluntarily climb a mountain.
No. The only reason he wanted to climb it in the first place is because we're all going. So he's like, he wanted to bail out a few times, right. So it was very odd for him to go back up and then just be sitting there.
Just chilling.
Just sitting there doing nothing.
Yes.
It was perfectly fine. Then came back down, but like he backtracked at least 100 yards.
Yeah.
Without us seeing him.
Yeah. Crazy.
Which is not impossible, but it was just very weird.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was very weird.
Strange occurrence.
Very strange.
Yes. And then we packed on, tried to go to the fire tower, but couldn't because the road was closed.
Yeah, roads were closed. We couldn't get to the fire tower we wanted to get to. And then some of the trails we were wanting to do were closed just because of the season. So we just head our way to Devil's Tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we did a few trails.
And
then
made it all the way to Devil's Tower.
Yeah, we just made it to Devil's Tower that day, which was amazing.
Yes.
I will say this. Sorry to burst everybody's bubble. It's not a tree. It's not a tree stump. I don't know what it is.
I see it from afar.
I see it from afar, and I see it from pictures. When you're next to it.
When you're next to the sign.
There's no way it was a tree. It looks like a column, building, tower, pillar of some type that was like melted by a laser beam. Or
like
the top was cut off. I don't know. It's so wild.
It's not this, but like Harrenhal in Game of Thrones, burned by dragon fire.
It might have been burned by dragon fire. Okay,
it's very possible.
It's possible. I enjoy the Native. I enjoy the Native American explanation for it. Is that a giant bear scratched it?
That's what I hope isn't true.
That's kind of. I mean, why not?
That's the coolest.
That is the coolest one. Because like,
I'm glad I don't have to see this bear.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to see this bear. But like, it's pretty wild. Like, it's a pretty wild story.
Yes. But it was very cool.
It was fun. I will say, it's different. That was one of the weirdest places.
The aura's strange.
It's
the birds are strange.
The atmosphere there is just weird. I don't know how to explain. I mean, you can feel the spiritual significance of it just because of the Native Americans who come and pray there and stuff and do their thing. Because you can see all their little prayer cloths or whatever they call them tied to trees and everything.
Yes.
But just walking around that whole thing, it was like such a different. It's like I wanted to be there, but I also did not want to be there.
Yeah.
And it's like I wanted to come back, but I was also like, I don't have to see this again.
Yeah.
But also, I'm like, I'm definitely going to go back. I kind of want to climb it.
I would want to climb.
You can get training to be able to strictly climb Devil's Tower.
We can talk to that guy that was climbing the canyon.
Yeah. Like I really want to get on top of Devil's Tower.
That'd be cool.
Like that's kind of a thing that I'm.
That's a goal now.
Yeah, I might do that.
Cool. That'd be fun.
Yeah, like that's a cool one. But yeah, walking around it so strange, and the fact that because we realized when we were walking around it, right, that it's on a plateau.
Yeah, the explanation that
it's way higher than everything else.
The explanation they give is crap.
Yeah, no, they don't have because it's all theories.
There's no way it's just lava that piled up and melted. That doesn't even make
that
sense.
Made symmetrical
columns of basalt.
Yeah, of stone.
Which yes,
like
it doesn't make sense. How did it stack?
It's just hard.
The dirt didn't.
It's so hard to believe anything anymore.
The dirt couldn't have eroded that far based on the surrounding environments because it's a hill with a plateau and then and
then Devil's Tower.
The tower is on a different part of the plateau.
Yeah, it's so.
And then around it is just lower areas and then the three mountain hill things.
It's so really strange. Cool. Like
I want to go to those three hills.
Yeah, those three mountains that are on I think it's the west side of Devil's Tower.
You can go climb Devil's Tower. I'll go to those three.
That's fine. We'll see if there's some kind of triangulation with the sun.
Yes, I like it.
And then we'll unlock the gates of hell.
Probably.
It's like, oh, dang it. Did not mean to do this. Devil's Tower is amazing, though. I would recommend for everybody to go and check that out.
Yes. I would not recommend taking the route that we took from it to Sundance, though.
Hey, if you got a 4-wheel drive vehicle and you want to get it nice and mucky and give it a test drive, we got a great road for you.
And risk where it says it's impassable.
Oh my gosh. Honestly, if we hadn't had, we were very close to not being able to make it through that. Yeah. Like, it definitely was very, very possible. Very possible.
We did. It was fine.
Yeah, no, it was good. Because we were planning on camping out in the Black Hills there in Wyoming. And West Wyoming is beautiful. I mean, the Badlands were beautiful. The Black Hills were incredible. And West Wyoming was gorgeous in and of itself. Like, all three just different.
Also cool colors.
Yeah, beautiful colors. But just different landscape in all three areas.
Yes, very distinct. Yes.
Yeah, very distinct, all very unique.
But they all flow.
They did flow. It makes
sense because you go from like pointy mountains and canyons to flat mountains and to hills with trees.
Like a pine forest.
Yes.
Like a bouldery pine forest. With open meadows.
Yes, to just rolling hills with gullies.
Yeah, gullies and gulches and all that.
A few miles.
Yeah, it was really beautiful. But then as we were going to the Black Hills in Wyoming, the roads were closed into the National Forest. We didn't want to backtrack an hour to try and see if the other roads would be open. Instead, we just decided to divert south. But the issue being what we thought was a county road, and it was a dirt road, which was fine. Until it turned, we saw a sign that said road impassable when wet. Well, we figured it couldn't be that wet, but it had snowed there recently, and
so it was
the snow had melted. Well, it was just muddy and snowy and icy, and it was what 2 hours on that road. It wasn't a road.
As the sun's going down.
Yeah, as the sun's going down, it's getting dark, and we're just spinning tires, slinging mud and ice and everything, like rocks everywhere because it was all rocky mud.
Yeah, that was probably my windshield broke. That was probably where it was. I don't remember, but at some point it broke. That would make the most sense.
That's great. Yeah, it was. I had so much rock frozen to the 4Runner. It wasn't even funny. It was wild. It was absolutely wild, and we wound up not being able to find anywhere that we could camp legally without getting in trouble or being on private property. So we wanted to just
didn't want to get shot.
Yeah, didn't want to get shot in Wyoming. So we just grabbed a place in Sundance for the night, which worked out.
Yeah.
It worked out. It'd been a long day of driving and trail riding, and the dogs were bushed as well.
Yes. But again, very doable. It was not anything too crazy.
No, it was not. It was easy. Easy money. Easy money. And then the next day we headed back to the Black Hills. Actually, we headed back to Sioux Falls because we kind of had done everything we planned on doing.
Yeah.
Except for some trails that we did the next morning in the Black Hills in South Dakota.
Yeah.
Which were great trails.
They were cool.
They were fairly technical. We had some that were driving over some ice puddles and stuff, some pretty tight trails.
Down a mountain.
Yeah. The first trail we had to clear some trees. That was fun.
That was fun.
Anthony did take his Sawzall back, sadly.
That's true.
I'm gonna have to get one.
Yeah.
I was like, well, time to invest in a saw then.
Definitely came in handy.
Oh yeah, it was super clutch because it made clearing that tree really easy and really fast.
Yes.
And then we did some trails, did a little bit of rock crawling, which was fun coming down that mountain.
Yes.
And then bushed it back to Sioux Falls, stopped by Wall Drug.
Yes. The large indoor flea market thing.
Yeah. The giant tourist trap, if you will, in South Dakota.
We bought in though.
Oh yeah, you gotta buy in.
Bought some cool stuff.
Of course, you gotta buy in. I mean, 100%. You can't not. You're traveling, just be a tourist.
Yeah.
Be a tourist at least a little bit. I mean, I like getting away from people as well and getting out in the middle of nowhere, but at the same time, support the local economies.
Right.
They need it.
That's how they survive.
Yeah, exactly. That's how they survive. So help them out where you can.
My stormtrooper thing's really cool.
Is it?
I'm a fan.
That's great. I got my
A+ purchase.
My little wolf statue and vase up in the bookshelf over there. Yeah, it was very cool. And then we got back to Sioux Falls and
tried to go to the Corn Palace, but it was closed.
Yeah, tried to go to the Corn Palace, but it was closed, so there's no point in stopping.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, but
just corn.
Yeah. Then we got back to Sioux Falls, which smells. Everybody that came in for the wedding said the same thing too.
See, I can't smell, so I couldn't tell you.
It smells like crap, just horrible. Which apparently Sioux Falls is like the meat packing capital of the world.
That would track.
And they have slaughterhouses in the middle of the city. That's what the smell is, and I was like, oh, okay, that's fantastic. I was like, that's cool. Yep, and then we
the downtown area was cool.
Yeah, downtown wasn't bad. Lucky's pool hall there. That was
shout out to Lucky's.
Yeah, shout out to Lucky's and Thursday night was better than Friday night, but
yes, it's better when there's not people.
Yeah.
Karaoke night was a vibe. Shout out to the burger place. That was cool. You didn't go there.
JB's or JT's?
JL's.
JL's. Ah, okay.
Yes, that was good.
I did not go there. The original Pancake House was pretty good.
Yeah, shout out to him.
We ate out. We ate there the morning of the wedding. That was pretty good. Shout out to Shields and Sioux Falls for being super cool. Also, not shout out to them for being super lame and not letting me take a rifle the same day that I buy it, even though it is legal for me to do it if I'm out of state in South Dakota from Florida with my concealed carry.
Yes.
It is legal for me to take it the same day if it's a rifle. But apparently Shields company policy doesn't allow that, so you guys are lame.
Were you going to get a...
I was going to get a Marlin.
Nice.
I was going to get the 45-70 lever action.
Nice.
I want one so bad. And the more we're going to be traveling to up north and stuff, it's like gun. Great camp gun, great truck gun. I mean, it'll literally take down everything on the face of the earth, just about.
Yes.
I mean, pretty much everything. So, I am gonna get one.
Next time.
I am gonna get one
Next time you visit Anthony.
at some point. Yeah, I'll wait until the next time I visit Anthony, or if I get impatient, I'm just gonna order one.
Or if we, or just go wherever we're going through with Shields. Just on the way out, buy it, and then on the way back, pick it up.
Well, that's the issue. Is I guess like that's a good point.
We just wouldn't have it for that trip, but you'd have it on the way back.
Yeah, that's a good point. That could work. Yeah, if I had known the prices were so good, I could have done it when we were in Sioux Falls the first time, and then picked it up before I left.
Fine. Next time we can do that.
I hate my life now.
That's right.
Everything is falling apart because of this one thing.
That's why you do things, so that you learn.
You learn, evolve, adapt. Do
things better the next time.
That's hilarious. Oh my goodness.
I learned with my horrible packing.
I was pretty pleased with my packing on this trip. Everything was pretty tight. It was the first trip I'd done solo, just me in the vehicle.
You and Caesar.
Just me and Caesar, and it worked out pretty well. I've got more ideas too. I think it's going to be way easier using my rooftop tent for stuff. Yeah, it'll be much easier with my rooftop tent because I can store things more efficiently.
Right.
So
just have Caesar sleep in the car.
Yeah, I'll let Caesar and Titus sleep in the car because then I can. Because really, if I let them sleep in the back seats, then I can sleep up in the rooftop tent, and then just because I can't get Caesar up in the rooftop tent.
Is there a way to access it from inside the car?
No, I'd have to cut a hole in the roof.
That's a good
I'm not willing to do that.
I've seen the sunroof.
People have done that, but I'm just like not ready to commit to doing all that.
That seems
like, yeah, that's a lot for. I'd rather build a camper because it's not hard to build a camper.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it out of like you just get a trailer. Really, you just need a trailer, and then you can upgrade like the suspension on it and put like beefier tires on it, and then you've got like a little off-road trailer, and then you can build a camper out of like the out of foam and board it all up and everything. I think that's pretty much it because after Sioux Falls, we just head back. We drove straight back from Sioux Falls.
That was a long drive.
It was a long drive.
Stopped just barely in Alabama. Sadly, I slept in my least favorite state.
Yeah, I stopped on the far side of Hamilton, Alabama. Like I filled up with gas.
See, I was on the near side.
And I got just past Hamilton. And I almost ran into the back of two different semi-truck trailers because they didn't have their lights on.
It was foggy.
Yeah, it was so foggy, and I didn't see them until I was like 10 feet behind them.
Two things.
I was like, I'm getting off.
With that, the crash, the motorcycle.
I thought that was you.
No.
The crash, was it
Dude, I'm pretty sure it was a semi on a motorcycle when I drove by.
A semi on a motorcycle?
Yeah.
So, because the exit that I stopped off,
definitely didn't make it.
The exit that I stopped off, I slept for about an hour and a half, and I got up and immediately got on the on-ramp, and I could see the accident down the road, and there was a bunch of cop cars, and I saw a bunch of fire trucks, and as I pulled up, I could see, like, it looked like a square vehicle under a sheet, and that's when I text you. Because I was like, oh my God. Like,
okay.
I was like, this is not.
Yeah, I was probably just snoozing.
Because I was like, you text me like almost immediately back. Like I think within 5 minutes, because I got like past, because there was two semi trucks just past it, the vehicle as well, and they were pulled off, and I was like, and I think as soon as I got past those, you would text me back. You were like, I just got up, I'm about to get on the road, and I was like. Okay.
That's good.
Because I was like, in my head, the first thought was he woke up before I did and got back on the road and wrecked.
Right.
And I was like, why would they need to cover the whole vehicle with a sheet unless it's bad, you know?
Right.
And so I was like, I knew that was bad, but I was like, oh.
Yeah, I was sleeping in a Love's parking lot because
there
was no rest areas.
Yeah,
which is also why Alabama.
Yeah.
How is there no rest area when you first enter the state? We're on an actual coming from a major city of Memphis, which sucks.
Yeah, Memphis is not great.
I'm so glad we drove straight through it. I
had no desire to stop in Memphis.
Driving at 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, whatever it was, through there, not the place to be.
No, I'm not trying to die.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And made it back. And here we are.
Yep. That was pretty much all the traveling we've been doing the last few months. Going a lot of freaking places. A lot of places.
Should have stayed out there.
Yeah, honestly, I wish I could just stay out there. I don't want to be back here. It's great living out in the middle of nowhere. Just
one day.
Yeah, one day for sure. We're gonna have to plan another few big trips soon.
Yeah.
Have to do some little trips around the area. There's plenty to explore around here for sure.
Yes.
But
Explore while we have it.
yeah, explore while you got it. Take advantage of it for the time being because they're trying to take it away.
Yes.
So just got to keep using it.
Building all these apartments.
Taking care of it.
Yeah.
Ready to wrap this up?
Yeah, I guess so.
Cool. I think this was a good one.
I think so too. And
Good recap.
And I can attach like all the video to this.
Yeah, you could.
Technically.